Picture this. You're standing at the security line, boarding pass in hand, completely relaxed, thinking about nothing but your seat number. Then an officer says, "Can I see your phone?" Not your ID, not your ticket, your phone. In 2026, this is happening to more travelers than you'd think, and it's not random. Officers are trained to look at what's on your device differently now, and what they find, or what they think they find, can turn a routine trip into a very long afternoon. Most people assume this doesn't apply to them because they haven't done anything wrong.
That's exactly the problem, because it was never about doing something wrong. It's about how something looks to a stranger with zero context in about 90 seconds to make a decision. Today, we're counting down the 7 things sitting on your phone right now that could get you flagged, delayed, or pulled aside, from number 7 all the way down to number 1, and exactly what to do about each one before your next flight. If you want to stay ahead of what airports and border agencies aren't telling you, hit follow on Senior Travels before we get into it, because we cover this every single week. First, a quick distinction that changes everything else on this list. TSA, the officers at your standard checkpoint, cannot legally search the contents of your phone. Their job is weapons and threats, not your messages. CBP, the agents at international arrival or the border, operate under completely different rules because the border is treated as its own legal zone, and inside that zone, your phone can be searched without a warrant. For U.S. citizens, you can't be denied entry for refusing, but your phone can be held, sometimes for days. For visitors and green card holders, refusal carries real consequences. So everything below matters most the moment you cross an international line, not at your home airport. Number 7. Political and controversial messages. At home, your opinions are yours and nobody's reading your group chat before you board a domestic flight. International travel changes that completely. Officers aren't reading for context, they're scanning for red flags, and a heated political thread, an old argument, or a joke that made sense to you and one friend 6 months ago can read very differently to a stranger scrolling cold. The fix isn't a dramatic purge. Go through your most active threads before you fly and clear out anything that needs an explanation to make sense. Number 6. Sensitive photos and screenshots. Photos are the fastest way to create the wrong impression because unlike a message, there's no explaining a photo in the moment. An officer either sees it or doesn't. This isn't about anything illegal. It's about ordinary images out of context, a screenshot saved as a joke, a photo from an event you happened to be near. The most overlooked culprit is your screenshot folder, because those pile up for months without you noticing. Give yourself 10 minutes before departure to scroll your recent photos and screenshots specifically and move anything questionable off the device entirely. Quick warning before we go further, because this trips people up constantly. Don't do all of this the night before your flight in one dramatic sweep. Officers are trained to notice patterns, and a phone that looks freshly wiped right before international travel can raise more suspicion than a phone that simply looks normal. Empty folders, missing months of messages, an unusually fresh reset. All of that invites the question, what were you trying to hide? The safer move is spreading this list across the few days before you fly, so your phone still looks lived in rather than prepared for inspection. Number 5. Suspicious contact names and group chat titles. Every friend group has a contact saved under a nickname that made sense at the time, or a group chat named after an inside joke. Officers aren't laughing along, they're reading labels literally, and a name that sounds risky out of context pulls attention toward it for no real reason. This is the easiest fix on the whole list. Before you fly, scroll your contacts and your group chat names and rename anything that would need an explanation if read cold by someone who's never met you. Number 4. Dating apps and other high-risk apps. This surprises people because dating apps feel completely personal and unrelated to travel. But some countries have strict laws around relationships or content that's completely normal at home. And an app sitting on your phone, logged in and active, can become the center of a conversation you never expected to have. It's not about judgment, it's about the simple fact that laws vary enormously by country. Before an international trip, especially somewhere with stricter social laws, log out of or remove anything that isn't essential to the actual purpose of your visit. Number 3. Crypto wallet apps you don't need for the trip. Most travelers have never even considered this a risk, but financial apps tied to significant value can draw specific attention at borders with stricter financial monitoring, not because crypto is illegal, but because an app an officer doesn't fully understand, combined with unexplained access to funds, can turn a quick check into a long one. If you don't need access during your trip, remove the app entirely. Logging out isn't enough because a logged out app still signals its presence. Number 2, cloud backups and auto sync accounts still holding what you thought you deleted. This is the one most travelers completely overlook. Cleaning your actual phone means nothing if everything you deleted is still sitting in a connected cloud account, syncing quietly in the background. If an officer requests access to your connected accounts, your cloud storage effectively becomes an extension of your phone. Before you fly, check which accounts are actively backing up photos and messages, and pause automatic sync for the duration of your trip. It's a simple toggle, easily reversed the moment you land. Number 1, anything on your phone that doesn't match the actual purpose of your trip. This is the habit that separates frequent flyers who never run into trouble from everyone else. They keep a clean, minimal home screen before international travel, boarding passes, maps, translation tools, nothing that invites unnecessary questions. Some disable automatic photo backups for a few days beforehand, so their camera roll only reflects what they intentionally kept. Others log out of anything non-essential, banking apps, certain social platforms, so nothing prompts a login request mid-screening. It's not about hiding anything, it's about presenting a device that clearly matches your reason for traveling. One more thing worth knowing before you land. If an officer does ask you to unlock your device, staying calm and polite matters more than being clever. Tone shapes the entire interaction from that point forward. You're allowed to ask whether it's a request or a requirement, and whether you're free to decline. For U.S. citizens, refusal can't be used to deny entry, though your device can be held temporarily, sometimes for days. For visitors and green card holders, refusal carries more weight, so know your specific status before you ever get to that line. Whatever your status, a calm, respectful, straightforward response gets you through faster than resistance or arguing ever will. The goal isn't winning the moment, it's leaving the screening room as quickly and smoothly as possible. So, 7 things. Political and controversial messages cleared. Sensitive photos and screenshots reviewed. Suspicious contact and chat names renamed. Dating and high-risk apps logged out or removed. Crypto wallets you don't need deleted. Cloud sync paused. And a home screen that actually matches your trip. None of this is about breaking any law. All of it is about avoiding a slow, uncomfortable conversation you never planned for. Do this a few days before you fly, not the night before, and your phone stops being a liability and starts being just another travel document ready to go the moment you are. If this helped, follow Senior Travels for what airports and border agencies never explain clearly, because your next trip should be about the destination, not about explaining your phone to a stranger.